it is announced that in Kakuri village, Vas S. Stamatopoulos was murdered by pistol. By Ilonis?
By Ioannis?
Kaliopoulos, or else named Judas, for unknown reasons. Wow. Pretty violent, isn't it?
Yeah. So your great-grandfather was gunned down by Ioannis Kaliopoulos, the Judas.
Who was this guy?
The Judas suggests that Kaliopoulos knew
My
your
great-grandfather.
great-grandfather. Somehow, this was like Judas to Christ. This was somehow an act of betrayal.
Right. He was a friend of my great-grandfather.
Must have been.
So he was shot in 1905. So my great-grandfather was what, 30, 38?
Yeah.
Something like that. And then my great-grandmother, Georgisa, was 27, 28?
She would have been, yeah, late 20s.
My grandfather was born in 1904. So he was 1 then.
Yes.
So he never had a father.
Never had a father.
That to me is heartbreaking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never knew his father.
Never knew his father. No.
My grandfather was sort of very reserved, you know, as a Greek man. And I think it took him in his later years to really get emotional with my father. And I know he didn't say I love you a lot, or wasn't very, you know, affectionate.
Well, think about his upbringing. He would have had to become a man very quickly.
Right. So the questions still are, why did she sell the land in 1916? And 1905, his father gets shot. So 11 years or so.
We got 11 years.
What happened during that 11 years?
This doesn't tell us that.
This is fascinating. I mean, a man was murdered in the streets. I mean, like, visualize that town square or wherever it happened. Maybe they were having some sort of standoff, you know, maybe they were arguing about their wives or whatever it may be. And then, bam, my great-grandfather shot. And maybe my great-grandmother was there.
Yeah. At the time, Greece was known for its violence. Because back then, Greek men took very, very seriously their reputation, their honor. There was what's called an honor culture.
Right. What was his name?
Yannis Kaliopoulos.
Why?
Why did he kill
My
your
great-grandfather.
great-grandfather?
I wonder if it had anything to do with my great-grandmother.
Ah, now you're thinking like a Greek. What I can tell you from general Greek history is Stamatopoulos is a very well-known family in this area.
Is it?
And it's a very large family. And the Kaliopoulos family, over multiple generations, had a reputation of being,
Gangsters?
yeah, they skirted the law.
So what happened to this guy? I'd like to know if this son of a bitch got, you know, what he deserved.
We know that the police are doing a police investigation.
Right.
There may have been a trial. That produces documents. So what we got to do now is we have to go to Napoleon where the court police records are.
Let's
we can go look and see what we can find.
It wasn't on my mind at all that my great-grandfather was murdered. Seems like it's out of a movie or some Greek tragedy or Shakespearean play, but then you hear your name in the middle of it, Stamatopoulos, and it's a little closer to home. Of course, it's fascinating to find out why and what happened to the guy that did it, and then what happened to my great-grandmother, why she had to sell her farm. It's the gods. The gods are crying for my Greek tragic story. And today I'm hoping to find out why my great-grandfather was shot.
Let's go on into the archive.
All right?
So this is the document that the archivist said that will be of interest to you. But before we can open it, we have to put on gloves. Why don't we crack it open where we can see what the title page is. Okay, so what this is telling us that these are the decisions of the High Criminal Court for 1915.
Okay.
There it is. So this is the meeting of the criminal court in the city of Tripolis.
Where's my great-grandfather's name?
Let's look in the next page. So Here's the Vita, Vasilio
Vasilio,
Sigma
Stamatopoulos.
Stamatopoulos. There it is right there. Why don't you have a look at the translation?
Okay. The trial took place at the Criminal Court of Tripoli on 16 November 1915. The murder happened in 1905. So from 05 till here, it took 10 years to go to court?
Yes. So this is important because this is telling you why it's taken 10 years.
Due to the fact that the defendant had not appeared for the trial and that the legally set time has expired, therefore all legal proceedings were fully kept based on articles of the penal procedure. So he didn't show up for the first court.
Right.
All right.
So what's happened is the perpetrator, Yannis Koliopoulos, fled. The police have to make a good faith effort to find him. Your great-grandmother had to keep going back to the authorities and getting them to pursue the case.
Right.
The statute of limitations are about to run out on the case.
Right.
And so now they're going to have a trial.
So this is a trial. He's not there.
He's not there.
Is my great-grandmother there?
Yes, she has to be there.
Right, the court sentenced in absentia Yannis Koliopoulos from the village of Kakuri. It found him guilty for the not premeditated manslaughter of Vasilio Stamatopoulos in the heat of passion. Passion.